Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. I'm Sean Akimbale at Channel Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. Happy to cover to our Muslim friends from wherever you may be watching. Well, let's begin. A former head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, has talked about just how difficult and complex how to govern this nation. But today, the message of President Buhari is that he will remain steadfast and will do his best. Take a listen.
I will remain steadfast. I mentioned how when I came in uniform much younger, I arrested people and put them in detention and said they are guilty until they can prove themselves innocent. And we put an investigative panel almost based on the geopolitics of the country. And the governors, the ministers then who were found not accountable, they were made to return to the government. But in the end, I too was arrested and detained. But this time around, we made sure that we introduce Treasury single account. Whichever money is driven is put there, and then it's going out will be watched by the Attorney General and the Accountant General of the Federation. So we are doing our best within the system, and we are remaining steadfast.
The president was speaking after the prayers to mark the Eid al-Kabir celebration prayers in his home country of Daura in Katsina State. Well, last week was quite eventful, but the event should not take our attention away from the real issues. Well, the democracy some Nigerians fought for, others fell in the struggle, some spilled their blood, and the nation we all live in, we need to guard its unity jealously. And so issues were raised from the events of the past week. Human rights and national security matters were debated. It's over a week today since Omoyele Sowore was arrested over plans of the Revolution Now protest. His lawyer, before he was charged, adhered the federal government to sue or to take him to court. Mr. Falana hinted on what he will do when the case comes up in court. Take a listen to him.
I do hope that the government will not charge him. The government will not be stupid to charge Sowore. But if they do, some of the people in government will be our witnesses. You know why? No, you know why? One of them, I won't mention his name, in 2011, asked Nigerians to learn from the Egyptian revolution and be ready for a revolution in Nigeria. So he will be my first witness.
Well, many have debated that the action or call for revolution, especially coming from Mr. Sowore, is immoral. The national chairman of the APC, Mr. Adams Oshiomhole, is one of them. Hear what he said.
Sowore, the publisher of Sahara Reporters, a presidential candidate cleared by INEC to bid for power and who had opportunity to ask Nigerians to vote for him. What exactly? Now Nigerians have voted, the votes have been counted, and he was not a favored candidate. Now, what does he want now? To say that Nigerians must make him the president? No, what is it that he wants? Because we all have to be careful. Nobody should talk as if we have another country. We have challenges, but somehow we have all resolved as a people that the way and the route to power is through the ballot box.
His friend in the opposition, the national chairman of the PDP, does not agree with him. He is of the opinion that the present government is keeping political prisoners, those who are being kept out of circulation intentionally because of their dissenting views on the actions of government. Take a listen to Prince Uche Secondus.
We want to directly ask Mr. President, President Buhari, to release the political prisoners. It is not done in any political dispensation. What we are saying today is as if we're in the military era. It should quickly and urgently release all political prisoners and allow a democratic atmosphere to strive in a country and where everybody is guaranteed the freedom of speech.
In all of this, the government said it wants to keep the system and the nation sane, undivided, and grow the economy. But will divisive voices, how can that be possible to when there are dissenting opinions and divisive voices in the country? So security challenges on one hand, economic times are tough, trade issues of commerce, and the rest are major contending issues on the laps of President Buhari. Is the country on the right track? Well, let's listen to former head of state, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, on his views about just how difficult it is to govern this country.
The country is complex, is difficult, but from experiences, I used to say that for every opinion in Nigeria, you have as many opinions as there are number of people in the country. So that's what Nigeria is a very vibrant society. For everything you do, somebody is there to say, no, you are right, or yes, you are wrong, you know, that sort of thing. But what is important is the determination. You remain very resilient in everything you do for the benefit of this country.
Well, let's take it up from there. The government of the day has promised quite a lot. The cabinet will soon be finally put together. Are we on the right track? With the team that the president is putting together, the concept and ideas they are bringing together, let's get a former spokesperson to the former president and the spokesperson of Yoruba Socio-Cultural Group, Mr. Yinka Odumakin, joins us in the studio now. Thank you so much, Mr. Odumakin, for coming on tonight.
A pleasure.
What are your views about what has happened in the past week when Nigerians have debated the issues of security has confronted us? We've talked about the issues of national security. It's a fragile and tender fabric of the nation which needs to be kept together, isn't it?
Sure, definitely. And I think, and I'm worried that the government is not doing enough in terms of understanding the season we are. In this kind of period, what the government needs to do is to pull people behind it, to face challenges. But the government itself keeps on opening new fronts. And if care is not taken, we are making it much more difficult to resolve the issues confronting Nigeria. For instance, if we look at the question of, let's start with the revolution now we have been talking about. When Sowore and his group came out to announce, we are going to have a revolution, well, I leave that to Mr. Fimfalano, who is Sowore's lawyer. He will argue that in court, whether call for revolution is
right or not.
Is right or not, whether it's an act of terrorism or whatever. But what the government should address his mind to is not Sowore and his group. They should look at the conditions which necessitated such calls and the fact that people are ready to follow them. That's what the government. They're going to have to bring out all these arsenals against Sowore, who came from America, got to Nigeria, said that he was doing a revolution with a few people, and you brought out Navy, Army, police, everything, DSS, and shooting kind of things of them. That shows guy that you yourself know that something's wrong with society. Because if anything were okay, let 1,000 Sowore go to on the street and say revolution. People just think that some Nollywood people are shooting some film.
You said that things are tensed. You said so. In a tense atmosphere like that, would you be talking about revolution in a tense atmosphere like that?
That is what I'm saying. You have kept Sowore now. The guy was allowed to commit an offense. You didn't allow him to commit it. You took him. Now, you've got a 45 days detention order.
Should they have allowed him to commit it?
What? Look, it's because our government don't get priority rights or they don't decision clearly. If Sowore had the capacity and his group of, let's say, Shekau, are you Mehiti, would they be announcing on television, I want to go and do a revolution? Have you seen Shekau coming on here to say, we are going to strike Uzo date?
Is the call for revolution a wrong thing or right thing?
That's that I will leave that to his lawyers. Since So they're in court.
It's interesting that you are here with us today,
Yes.
Mr. Odumakin. And in 2011, a lot of people, I've also asked Mr. Femi Adesina about this, the comment that was attributed to the president when he was a candidate of the CPC. And you, interestingly, you released that statement where he was quoted to have commended the spirit of the revolution in Egypt at the time.
Yes.
What kind of revolution did the president mean that at the time?
Well, I think what followed was that after commending that spirit, was asking Nigerians to also carry a revolution through the ballot box in the coming elections in 2011. That's why I'm saying that I want to leave that to Mr. Femi Falana.
Is that revolution that the statement from him at the time,
Yes.
is it the same with the revolution that Ushowoda was asking?
Yeah, because they didn't allow Shawore to carry out their own revolution to know whether it's different from what they're talking about. Because, I mean, that one said that it's better to leave this to Falana. Because with the countries talk about industrial revolution, you know, economic revolution, all kind of revolutions. So if you had allowed him to go on the streets, maybe started burning houses, killing people, I said, hey. But you have not allowed him to carry out anything. You are arrested him preemptively. So it will be an interesting case, like I said. And I think, and I know this will also be a good watch for his lawyer. I remember it was my lawyer some 30-something years ago in Ife, when we were accused of stoning the representative of General Babangida who came to the university convocation. And we were suspended. And the university thought everything was all right until we got to court. And Femi Falana was a lawyer. And on that day, the university lawyer was Professor is dead now. Came with a battery of lawyers, and Falana came alone. And he just bought us the university handbook and said, we are now in university handbook. The university handbook says that the VC can suspend a student if he has been found guilty of an offense. My clients have not been tried. Now he has punished them. And that's why we are left on the hook. So that's why I'm saying that at this point, on the question of the call, maybe Shawore, it will be an interesting thing to see Falana and the prosecutors in court. But I don't think that if we are interested in building the country, if you are not interested about holding power, we are holding power, we want to hold power. If you are thinking about the country or the polity, we should look at what is the situation of the country today. There's a story of a woman that was on the weekend newspapers, Mrs. Akamo Noshogbo. She was a fufu seller. She joined the protest in Noshogbo. Police beat her hell out of her. Interesting, that man said that if there's another protest, she will join because the country is not good and she wants to do better. And there's a, do you know Omonishi? He said, who is that? I don't know him. I was just hawking my fufu. I saw them protesting. I was hearing the song they were singing. It made sense to me. I dropped my foot somewhere and I joined them. 70-something-year-old woman. That's what she wanted the government, not Shawore.
If people were not happy with the government,
Yes.
should they, I mean, why did they vote the present government?
Well, it's INEC declares some results that people have voted for this government. That's not being challenged in courts. Until that question is over, I think I don't want to talk on that.
But as it stands right now, you heard what the president said on his Saturday message.
Yeah.
He did say that is steadfast and the government is doing their best to fix the country. Do you think so?
Well, that best can be asked from average Nigerian. And I'm sure that if the presidents and all those who are in power today, if they are not in power, and they were asked to assess this of the country today, I'm sure their views will be different from what they're saying now.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, you have asked a whole lot of the time about the issues of restructuring, the issues of how we need to, especially the death of one of the leaders of Afenifere, about what needs to be done presently. Maybe you see the traditional rulers, especially from the southwest region of the country, visiting the president, and some of the calls and some of the reactions to, are you satisfied with what the federal government is doing presently?
We're definitely kind of satisfied. For instance, when we talk about what Nigeria is facing today, we need a holistic approach to it. It's not about calling some traditional rulers in Southwest today, calling somebody here tomorrow. No, you are not solving the problem. And okay, when you call traditional rulers in Southwest, they went twice. The last time, what they came back, we are going to deploy drones. To do for what?
You don't think that's right?
When we have a group whose members have been claiming responsibility for various attacks across the country.
Have they?
Yes.
Which group is that?
So members, when there were killings in Benue State, January 1, 2018, 17 people killed. Some members were allowed granted interview why the killing took place and that more blood will flow. Nobody's under position today. Do you need drones to go for those people? General Gawan, former head of state, went to Benue and said, interrogate leaders of Mitiala over these killings. Mitiala said, General Gawan, his head is not correct. So so you need drones to go for those people? It's like what just happened in Taraba State, where policemen were killed. The police came out that soldiers killed our men. Soldiers came out to say, yes, we killed them, but we thought they are kidnappers. And now we are talking about we want to carry out investigation partner to do what? Is it not to ask the army staff, get the men who are responsible for this and then go on trial?
But the president has said that.
That's what?
That they should go and get that kidnapper that has escaped, and also to get the killers of those policemen. The president has said that.
That's it.
Those are
Are you find them now? Are those soldiers? Are they dead soldiers? Because we have been appointing dead people, mistakenly identifying who killed those people. That's what we're talking about. So do you not need drones to go for those soldiers?
You don't believe in the activities of this government, do you?
No. When they do good things, we say it.
Like what?
When this government, when this government decided to honor June 12th, did you not commend this? We did. We are not mad people who will see good things and say it is bad, but we are not also sycophants who will see bad things and say it is good.
Do you think this government is capable of more good things in the country, especially going into their second term? Their next level agenda, some of the plans that they say they have for this country?
Well, for us, you see, we have no other country. Every day that we spend under bad conditions is no the same for anybody. Any day that we spend under good conditions is a plus for all of us. So no matter, even if we don't support the government, you know that your country should be destroyed. We'll be happy if they get it right. If they do things that are good so that can move the country forward. Like I said earlier on, if they are creating happiness all over the country, if there are no killings going around, if we are getting jobs, I saw one report on your TV a few days ago talking about giving some figures. Those who had nothing to do in Nigeria in 2014 were 1 point something million. Today they are 9 point something million. So if we are creating jobs, we promise in 2015 we are going to create 3 million jobs every year. We have lost more than that in each year according to statistics. If you are creating jobs to replace, let me ask you a question. Since the day they have been killing armed robbers, the day we use executive armed robbers openly, have you seen any one of the armed robbers say that, oh, I was working in social factory? It's also have nothing to do. So when we are creating that population and we are not addressing the issues, look, under Obasanjo, under Yaradua, under Jonathan, we had a situation where you have the people like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and the rest of them. They will come on here. Oh, this is the economy. Oh, this is what we are doing. They may even be providing wrong solutions. They may never agree with them, but we are addressing the economy. This is in the last 4 years, what am I talking about? Cattle route, grazing reserve, Meitiala, Ruga, the things that divide, that do not elevate your country. That's not the way to go. So if they move from that track to another track, where we are talking of issues that are affecting us, solutions. For instance, when they said they are waiting for the cabinet, with 5 months after elections, 2 months after elections, we thought that, oh, maybe they are going to bring some experts from World Bank, from professor from Harvard, some new revelations from localists. Oh, yes, this businessman, this industrialist. We waited. When this came out, who did you see?
You're not impressed.
So it takes 5 months after election, 2 months after swearing, to go and shop for Adegbeshola, for Akpabio, for Sylvia, for Bibi Zaraki. Wow.
Let's take a break. Up next on the program, with President Muhammadu Buhari in the saddle, we'll talk more on where Nigeria is headed and the present political leadership. Join us again, everyone.